These teens are charged with conspiracy to commit a mass Columbine-style school shooting. Connor Pruitt, 13, and his 14-year-old buddy Philip Bird were allegedly planning to target their middle school in Lehigh Acres, Florida. The arrest happened after an 8th grade teacher got a tip from a student at the school that one of the boys had a gun in his backpack. When the backpack was opened, no gun was found, but police say there was a map with markings allegedly showing the exact location of all of the surveillance cameras in the school. The teens are said to have been extensively studying the 1999 Columbine massacre.
What do you say about what you think their intent was?
I am absolutely convinced that we prevented a mass shooting. The two suspects have been surfing online, trying to buy guns on the black market. They researched thoroughly Columbine. They were inspired by Columbine.
Deputies searched their homes and found ammo, shotgun shells, knives, and other weapons. Philip Bird's mother, Carrie Tuller, broke down in tears during their appearance in court on Sunday.
He's just a little boy. He didn't think this was really serious.
I spoke with Carrie and stepdad Chris today.
Carrie, how are you convinced that your son was not about to carry out a mass shooting?
My son is no monster. He would not have hurt anybody. My niece goes to the school, and he sure as heck wouldn't have hurt his family.
You all heard what happened this morning at 8:03 a.m. in Conyers, Georgia. I hate to say this yet once again, but I warned you. I told you it wasn't over. I told you it would happen again, and I told you it would probably happen again in another school very soon. And it did. And it's still not over. It's going to continue to happen until they have every gun in this country. Every gun. You watch the United States Senate wimp and roll over the entire Republican contingent, literally, voted down gun registration for pawn shops and gun shows, and then the very next day came crawling in with their tails between their legs and flopped over, bellies in the air. Bellies in the air. Well, the socialists thought they had it won, ladies and gentlemen, and then all of a sudden, they started backpedaling again. What in the world is going on? And when their anti-gun legislation was in danger of not being passed, guess what? Exactly 30 days after the shootings in Littleton, Colorado, a 15-year-old boy walks into a local high school in Conyers, Georgia, and opened fire with a pistol and a shotgun. He was apprehended within 10 minutes. And as they were trying to apprehend him, he stuck the pistol in his mouth to commit suicide with the classic profile. The classic profile, he stuck the pistol in his mouth to commit suicide, and they overcame him and stopped him from doing it. Held him until sheriff's deputies arrived, at which time he was placed under arrest. Wow. And remember, I predicted all of these things years ago, and I told you when Jonesboro happened last year that it was not over, it would happen again. It did at Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado, and I told you then it would not be over yet. It would happen yet again and again and again. And after Columbine, I told you that the next incident would probably happen within a reasonably short period of time. They have to keep the momentum going. The agenda is gun control, to disarm all Americans. You watch this gun control issue pick up momentum like it's never had before in history. And it's all based upon a lie. And everybody knows that it just has not occurred to them yet. It's a lie. They say guns are more available to children than ever before in history, and it's a lie. When I was a boy, ladies and gentlemen, there was no gun control whatsoever. The first gun control ever passed in this country was in 1968. 1968. Since then, there have been literally thousands of gun control laws passed throughout all the different 50 states and the federal government. Now, I have to backtrack just a little bit because what I said isn't entirely true. Back in the 30s, a gun control law was passed. It restricted the sale of sawed-off shotguns, fully automatic machine guns, and silencers. That, if you'll remember, was the era of Al Capone and the St. Valentine's Day Massacre and all of those kinds of things. So that was really the first gun control passed in this country. It was the only gun control. And prior to that, you could walk into any store anywhere and buy a fully automatic machine gun of any kind. Sawed-off shotguns, silencers, whatever you wanted. But there was no gun control after that until 1968. And since 1968, there have been literally thousands of gun control laws passed across this country. Thousands, ladies and gentlemen. Literally thousands. So it's a lot. Guns are not more readily available to children today. They're just not. It's not true. They are lying to you, yet once again, on top of the mountains and mountains and mountains of lies that they have told us before. For the entire history of this country, up until recently, everybody owned guns and there were no restrictions. Anybody could walk into a